The Dalish prisoners escaped safely?
We got them away free and clear.
Good.
I do not know how you have found your dealings with the Dalish.
Whatever my frustrations with them, it was a privilege to be able to help our people again. Thank you for allowing me to help. Chance to infuriate Elganon was a reminder of simpler times.
You said you found the Dalish frustrating. Why is that?
It is unfair to them. I lived for thousands of years, and after I imprisoned the Evanuris, I slept for thousands more. I awoke in a world that had forgotten the ancient times almost entirely. And those who tried to remember Elven history, like the Dalish, had gotten so much wrong.
Let me guess. You tried to tell them what they were getting wrong, and they didn't believe you?
There are few things that frustrate me as much as ignorance. I tried to explain the truth to one clan. When I convinced them that I was truly Fen'Harel, they attacked me. After that, I hid my explanations behind the facade of having witnessed events in the Fade.
And every mage knows that what we see in the Fade might not be literally true.
Yes. The Dalish had no reason to believe me. I could only watch as they continued to worship Elganon, though we may have seen the last of that tradition, at least.
You and Elganon were really tearing into one another back there.
I needed to goad him to anger in order to distract him.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, while all of the Evanuris were monsters in their own ways, Elganon was the worst. Or perhaps it is more honest to say that his were the faults I found most objectionable. You have met him now, heard his voice hammering at the doors of your mind, and you have met me. Can you see how he and I might frustrate one another?
He uses his power to crush any opposition?
Yes. He is far more powerful than I am, and he wields that power like a graceless bludgeon. When I defeat an enemy, it is because I outsmarted them, because I was right. When he does, it is only because he was stronger.
Outsmarting someone and being right aren't exactly the same thing.
Aren't they?
All right. I can see how you and Elganon would hate each other.
He has always been what I most feared becoming. Callous and uncaring, his arrogance unchecked. To have that much power and no one to remind him that he could be wrong.
Well, he had you.
And I suppose I had you.
Last time I got his attention, he got angry enough to come after us with the blighted dragons. Hopefully this baits him into a mistake we can use against him.
Every act of resistance is a thorn in his side. He will break soon. When we first met, I saw you only as a foolishly confident child who disrupted my plans. You were an irritant. I gave you information to oppose Elganon out of necessity, but I expected you to be nothing more than a tool. Seeing you with your team, I was wrong.
I appreciate you saying that. Couldn't have been easy.
The only thing worse than being wrong is realizing it, but being afraid to change. Elganon's pride is no greater than mine, but he denies any failure on his part, and I at least try to acknowledge my mistakes. Your team trusts you, and you listen to them. It is impressive and enviable. It took me centuries to build such a bond during my rebellion, and when I served the Inquisition, I tried to avoid entanglements.
Except for Inquisitor Llewellyn.
I said that I resolved to do so, not that I succeeded. She is a good woman. Growing close to her was selfish of me.
Do you regret it?
I live with countless regrets. Some of them I have grown to cherish more than my victories.
Thank you for sharing that. So, what comes next? What are the gods going?
Elganan and Gillenane are preparing the dagger they will use for their ritual to pierce the veil. Elganan's power is tied to light and darkness. He will need to perform a ritual during the next eclipse.
That gives us some time to prepare.
It is likely to be your last chance to do so. You must be ready for whatever comes, for this world and for the team that trusts you. I know that you will do everything in your power not to fail them.
So now Elganan's recovered his own archdemon, and the gods only need an eclipse to complete their dagger.
We saved the Dalish, though. That's important.
But now Elganan's immortal, so long as his archdemon lives.
And we all know how hard those things are to kill.
We killed Razikale, didn't we?
After losing hundreds of wardens, and it took a centuries-old trap to do it. We don't have either of those. Not anymore.
Just when you think the tide's in your favor, it turns right back.
The odds on this were never good, but we've already beaten them once. We have a job to finish, and 2 gods to kill. We don't get to wallow and whine because no one else is taking this fight.
Nice speech, Rook. But it's hard to complete a contract if you don't know where the target is.
We found the gods before.
Not without help, we didn't.
So we get help again. We've got allies everywhere now.
I can think of a few options, but I'm open to suggestions.
Wardens have run dry. Nothing new is moving in the deep roads.
And the Veil Jumpers couldn't find any trace of Elgranon or his archdemon.
The crows may have something. The Antam are moving large quantities of supplies out of the city. Weapons, armor, gatlock. And several storehouses worth of food, what little we had left. It's enough to feed the Antam Navy for 3 months. Or all of Treviso for 6 weeks.
Given the timing, it seems unlikely to be a coincidence.
Wherever those supplies are headed, that's likely where we'll find the gods. Any more details from the crows, Lucanus?
They said the Antam have long work ahead. We have time. Also, Biago would like a meeting. At your earliest convenience. From him, that means important, but not yet urgent.
Did Viago tell you how much time we have?
Days to weeks. Nothing more precise.
Well, that's our best lead so far. Track those supplies, and we should find the gods. That said, the Venatori aren't up to anything good in Minrathous.
Not to complicate things, but the Inquisitor also wants to meet Rook.
Right. With everything she's been doing in the south, we owe her an update.
I'll let her know.
Today could have gone better. But it could have gone much worse. We fought off the Venatori and rescued the Dalish. That's a win by any standard. Rest up, and be ready to go. Next time the gods appear, let's make sure it's the last.
Hey, Rook. There's a complete collection of Randy Dowager quarterlies here. I see Chuggles in a new light now.
Oh, yes. Can I help you?
Cedar Siconia, back on stage. Where to see her? Who's the new friend?
These meetings can't be good for business. I'm here, Inquisitor. It isn't just Inquisitor, is it? You were someone before that.
Clan Llewellyn. We try to be no one you've heard of. Morrigan is holding a perimeter. We're alone. Tell me what Solus did at Algernon's ritual.
Sounds like you already know.
I need to hear it from you.
Elganon raised his archdemon. Solus got us out of there. We saved a lot of people.
You sound grateful.
Why not? He really did help.
It seems so. He's always thinking about where it ends. How many of his names do you know? God of Lies, Dreadwolf, Fen'Harel. They're titles he earned from enemies, followers, and fractured history. He and I shared another name. Venan.
Your heart. He meant that much?
Yes, he did. You've spoken to him in your dreams. You felt the power of that mind. His love could burn against me like a bonfire. He seemed so kind and wise and sad, and looked at me as if I somehow mattered more than anything around us. For a time, I thought I would have followed anywhere he asked me to.
It must have been horrible when you learned the truth.
How could I have fallen in love with a god and never realized it? Why didn't he tell me? So many things he said. So many half-truths, inevitable in retrospect. And then he went off to destroy the world, leaving me to clean up his mess.
You mean the Inquisition?
I mean all of this. He let me fall in love with him and then told me we couldn't. Then he told me not to follow, while leaving me just enough clues to find him.
Hold on. You think he wanted you to stop him?
His name is Solas. It means pride. Perhaps he couldn't change his mind himself and hoped that someone else could help him. Or maybe I'm the prideful one, imagining his broken heart so that I never have to face my folly. That I loved someone who made such grave mistakes. That I might love him still.
You almost sound like you're ready to join him in that prison in the Fade.
To give up the world for him? No. We've got to save it first. But after, if there were a way, if he felt the same, if I could leave the world behind and just have him. I don't know.
One thing I've learned in this job is that the people I need the most are people who can tell me when I'm wrong.
We all need that sometimes.
It sounds like that's what you were for Solus. If the two of you were better people together and you were happy too...
I was.
This is all hypothetical anyway. He's trapped in the Fade with no way out.
He surprised us before. But enough about me. Tell me about you and Harding.
What? Who... How...
Morrigan has eyes everywhere.
Of course she does.
Johanna?
Valkaran?
Until we find a suitable method of penance in the necropolis, you're to be confined under the eye of a watcher, lest you slip your bonds.
How magnanimous of you to volunteer.
A challenge for us both.
Elgernon's an asshole. Talking in people's minds, promising them stuff. It's messed up. At least we saved the Dalish. That'll piss him off.
I wish I could get moving. I hate being stuck in here.
Can't believe Solas helped us. I'll be thinking about that for a while.
I hope Tasha's all right. I don't know what I'd do if I lost my ma.
Let's say we beat the archdemons, gods, all of them. Where do you go next?
The easy answer is I move to the next job. Keep looking after Docktown.
And the truth?
I don't know what comes next on a good day. And we're fighting gods.
I think we're getting low on onions again.
And I can pick up the letters to Magister Tilani. Oh, hello, Rook. There's a lot of your people passing through the crossroads now. They're mostly in the marketplace on that island with the streets. I think there's even a trader there. I should take these messages. You know, someone's got to keep your network talking, right?
You had quite the stack of letters. Intrigues from home?
It's the Via della Morte. There's upkeep, repairs. I'm being asked if I should redecorate the main dining room. I'm not sure what to do. I make a mistake, both Katerina and Thea will kill me.
My entire Minratha's apartment could fit in your main dining room. If you're looking for help, you've got the wrong address.